So welcome back to DecoyNoise, and another episode of Decoy Court, where I'm judging some people on r/relationships and a story about a 27-year-old male, had a fling with an apparently married woman, a 39-year-old female. So as always, I read the story in its entirety, we rush it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction to the situation, then I read some of the top and controversial comments, then your comments down below as well, but let's go ahead and get to the story right now. So OP wrote, I met a woman online, and over the course of a few months, we'd meet up for drinks, hook up, and occasionally she'd sleep over. Sometimes we wouldn't talk for 2 weeks or a month after. Although I enjoyed what we had, I never saw it as anything serious as we never got too personal with each other. I recently moved to another country for work. Before leaving, I informed her I was moving, and towards the end we hung out a little more than usual, and she told me that she loved me. That complicated things, but nevertheless, I had to move and I figured we'd just move on. She'd been sending me emails for the past week that I've been gone, telling me how much she missed me and wants to see me. I've been hesitant to reply because I didn't want to give her the wrong impression that I wanted to further anything or start a long-term relationship. Then out of nowhere, I get hit with a message from her apparent husband. Apparently, she's been married with 2 children. He's been telling me how I ruined her, and their children's lives, asking me if I feel good about myself, telling me it's all my fault. I just panicked and blocked him and his wife. I was unaware of all this, but somehow I feel like a piece of crap homewrecker. What do I do? How am I supposed to feel? Should I feel worried for my safety? Too long didn't read. Had a fling with a girl and she's got a whole family. So as always, we take the case and we rush it over to Decoy Court where I give you my knee-jerk reaction to the situation. And honestly, I want to know if this person, 27-year-old male, is really this oblivious to how relationships work. Like, let's be honest, let's all be adults right here and not have the fantasy of Disney Channel movies and, relationships, how they're supposed to be in fairy tales, and the idea of if you're dating somebody and they only hit you up past 10 p.m., you don't know anything about them, you don't add each other on social media, they don't have a social media, you never meet their friends, and it's only this very, very discreet meet. You kind of just assume they're in a relationship and either you're okay with it or you're not. The idea is, they left and then all of a sudden they're saying, I love you, and now they're saying, I'm in a relationship. Was this person really like, oh my God, they had a relationship the entire time? Whoa, I didn't know. Or were they like, yeah, I kind of figured it, and they're just like, trying to play dumb so they can be innocent and not be judged for being a homewrecker? Because at the end of the day, yes, they are indeed the homewrecker. Like they should have seen it a mile away. She's not necessarily married, but she's in another relationship because he's never being introduced to her the rest of her life. It's just hookups or whatever. Like oftentimes, I want to go ahead and say that yes, you can have a casual relationship, a friends with benefits thing, but I mean, at some point in time, you kind of know how to differentiate the subtleties of like how their cell phone is, or when you see them, or when they reach out to you. Do they disappear for 2 weeks at a time? Like those sort of things, especially when they're, around, I guess, significant times in their life. I don't know how to explain it in this very condensed thing right now, but I guess the inverse of that, the decoy defense, is also the husband. You're being dumb right now. I understand that they have kids and they've been married to somebody and they're probably freaking out at this whole relationship. How, oh my God, I never knew my wife was cheating on me. How dare this guy do this to me? How dare that this stranger hurt me and ruin my children's life? And it's like, they're trying to salvage the relationship however they can, but the true antagonist in this situation is gonna be the wife. Like, this random stranger online OP, he's not cheating on you. OP's not ruining your relationship. OP's just doing what is kind of his mission as a single man in life right now, is just to kind of have fun, have a good time, and see if he has a connection with random people, because who knows when you're gonna fall in love with somebody. And the idea is the husband is going to blame OP for essentially just dating around. No, it's not his fault. It's the wife's fault. The wife made the vows. The wife has the kids. The wife should be the one that's trying to keep everybody together in her family and not betray her husband and not betray the kids' trust and try to keep, like, this, not shatter their world. So I think the husband's kind of being dumb, but I understand where he's coming from, where it's like he's just got to figure out a way to keep things together. If he can blame some stranger, it's way easier to blame him than someone that he loves, trusts, and thought that respected him, when in reality, she never respected him at all. And the idea is OP kind of sucks because he should have realized that. But let's say that just at face level, with Decoy Court, we got to try to just be fair and, non-biased with my jaded history right now. But it's the idea that if he is as naive as he is, I'm going to go ahead and say that they're not the antagonist, for the simple fact that maybe they didn't know, and it's not their fault that they cheated on the person. So let's go ahead and get to some top comments right now, which I think we're gonna hit all the comments. But actually, before that, we'll hit all the comments because this isn't a popular thread, but I just wanted to post it for the Decoy Court. But we'll take the short break before I get there. Make sure you subscribe down below with the notifications on, and also letting me know what you're thinking about the things. If you like the new style where we're just judging strangers online that aren't asking to be judged, but we're gonna take them to Decoy Court anyway. So let's go ahead and get to those posts right now. So the top comment is, if you have no clue, you can't take that blame. It's common for the person who's been cheated on to blame the other person, particularly if they're trying to make the relationship work. It helps them cope with tolerating the cheating partner. You've had no idea what's been said. You might have an idea that you've led her astray or whatever. You'll never know. You can only cut ties with these people and focus on yourself. And then they came back to reply saying, thanks, I've already blocked them. Hopefully this is the last I hear from either of them. Which is, I see what they're saying. They're coming from the perspective of, am I in danger? Like, they're just having fun, they're being relatively young and just kind of doing whatever they want to do, and they're realizing that these stories get very morbid very quickly, in the sense that, yeah, if you're dating somebody casually and they cheat on you, it's like, okay, cool, deleted, see you later, and that's the end of it. But this guy has kids, he's invested, so even if she divorces him or he divorces her, oftentimes, depending on where they are, he could lose his kids. He could end up paying alimony and child support the rest of his life for this person that cheated on him. So he's got to try to salvage a relationship. And sometimes those people feel truly, truly helpless and make some very dire mistakes at that point in time. So he's realizing, oh my God, can you tell me if this is very common for this particular relationship, for the guy to come after me in a different country? Good on him for blocking them and trying to become, like, you know, go underground as much as possible so nothing can kind of happen to him later on. But I'll tell you right now, from first-hand experience, I have known people that this situation has happened and the person really, really overreacts because they just don't know how to handle all those crazy emotions that are overwhelming them right now. Let's go ahead and get to the next top comment saying, ugh, that's awful and I'm sorry. I've also been you in the same situation. I don't know if it'll help, but my advice is to explain to him that you had no idea he existed and how you feel as well. Because you were both lied to, as much as he wants to blame you for this, it's his wife that is responsible. So here's the thing. I understand where they're coming from, because both this person and OP are probably level-headed. Even you watching at home right now, listening to this video, you're level-headed like, wow, that's crazy, but don't blame the wife, don't blame OP, blame the wife. But that's someone that's very, very level-headed. You're talking about a guy that's a life, you know, from however long, let's say, like, you know, they were, you know, high school sweethearts, went to college together, got married at the right time, and then all of a sudden had kids, and just this whole fairy tale relationship they've been building up. I think the girl was 39 years old. So this whole time he's living his dream world, his dream life, and all of a sudden it gets shattered. That's not a reasonable person. You're not going to be able to rationalize with somebody, especially via email, that's this faceless person, and probably the wife's telling him lies as to how the relationship was and who was really hounding who down and all that other things that involved in that. No, you're trying to reason with a wild animal, jackal, that has been starved for food. Okay, this is getting too far, but just the idea is, I wouldn't expect him to be like me writing 5 sentences of rationale, you know, something reasonable, and him being like, oh wow, all this rage I'm feeling, all this crazy hurt and pain, and just, you know, earth-shattering information I've received, I'm okay now. Thanks, man, I'm cured. No, that's not gonna happen. Don't think that you're gonna walk out of this situation as the hero. So the next reply was, you had no idea. I get where this guy is coming from, a place of pain. It would not be unheard of for her to tell him whatever she needed to shift the blame. Hey, look, you're handy. How are you supposed to feel? However you do feel, but eventually, please leave the guilt behind. You don't deserve it. You did not earn it. So I'm kind of on the fence on the idea is, like, yes, the wife probably shifted the blame onto OP, saying he's the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. Wife wants to salvage a relationship. Wife wants to keep the kids. Wife wants to keep the husband and try to work on bringing things together. She's going to lie, cheat, and steal no matter however much it takes to try to salvage her old life back and try to have the bonus stuff on the side. Truly messed up, truly selfish person with no impulse control, but that's what they're going to do right now, because as illustrated in this story, she's a bad person. But the idea is, the other person is going to be mad at her, the husband is. It's not OP's fault, unless they weren't as naive as they're trying to pose themselves to be. I'm sorry. If I, or probably anybody I knew, was telling me this story like before they caught the cheating on, oh, we only see each other for small periods of time, we don't really know each other, they disappear for 2 weeks at a time, she spends the night sometimes, and I don't really know where she lives, where she works, what her family is like, if she has kids, if she's been married, none of that extra stuff. You gotta kind of assume that they have something else going on and they're keeping you at arm's length because you're the side piece. And here's the thing is, many people out there in the world, not to incriminate anybody, are okay with that because that's just the state of dating right now. And it's a super truly messed up place we live in right now, but with, you know, social media, Tinder, and all this stuff like that, it's just too accessible and there's too much scumbaggery going around in the world. So it's like, would I ever want anybody I know? Would I ever try to like rubber stamp and like say, oh, that's fine, you can do that terrible thing? No, but in the same sense, I'm not as naive to think that like, no, I'm dating this new person, she's really cool, and I don't know where she lives, I don't know, you know, where she works. We've been dating for like a year and I know nothing about her family. I've never met any of her friends. I've never seen anything on social media of them. Yeah, she's not, she's really serious about me. There's nobody else involved. Like, I think that you're naive in 2020 if you think that you're the only person given the circumstance. So yes, maybe it's jaded, maybe it's not, but make sure you're letting me know in the comments down below by how you feel about this whole new format of just the Decoy Court, going hard on just random strangers online to see if, you know, how do we want to judge them. I like you guys in the Decoy Court down below judging the people as well, telling me what you think about the stories. But as always, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say I appreciate you guys genuinely hanging out with me, giving me your feedback, and just kind of telling me what you like about the channel, what you don't like about the channel. Maybe checking out Decoy Court. I'll put the link in the description for that channel where it's more silly kind of animated topics that I'm covering. It's an experimental channel I'm doing on the side. You can always find me in the DecoyNoise podcast on this channel here. So if anything else, just put this on autoplay and watch the next episode of DecoyNoise coming up next.